Hi guys, good morning and welcome to my podcast. My name is Mandy and I am a 39-year-old woman from southeastern Michigan. I live here with my husband and my two kiddos, and I am a knitter and a crocheter. I love to do both. Right now I have been focusing primarily on knitting, but I'm hoping to get back into crochet soon. It seems like it comes and goes with me in spurts. I love to make amigurumis and blankets, and just when the inspiration hits me, there I go. But anyways, if you're new here, I'm happy that you're joining us, and if you're returning, thank you so much for returning. I have quite a bit to talk about today and quite a bit not to talk about today. So normally I'll share some patterns with you guys, but I'm not going to do that this week. I have decided to kind of talk about my plans, my knitting plans for 2025. So here in Mandy's world, it is the Saturday after Christmas, and you guys will be seeing this on New Year's Eve. So I hope that you're excited about the new year coming, and I hope that you guys have some fun plans and have a great New Year's. But with all of that said, let's start with admin first before I get ahead of myself with everything else. So if you are new here, we give away a pattern prize every week. So the way that you enter is you just leave a comment down below and then come back next week and see if you won, because I will use a random comment picker and put in the URL for the YouTube and it will spit out a winner. So it can't be easier than that. The only two rules are you can only win once a month, and your pattern prize has to be $15 USD or under. So if I draw your name, all you have to do is shoot me a message either on Ravelry or Instagram as Mandy Von Knits and let me know what pattern that you pick. So with all of that said, I'm going to show the winner for last week's pattern right here. So if that was you, like I said, please reach out to me on Instagram or Ravelry as Mandy Von Knits and let me know what pattern that you want. Okay, so I have something a little special today besides the pattern prize, because next week we're giving away a pattern prize as normal, but we're also going to have a physical prize giveaway. So I got an Advent from Adore Knit, and I love Adore Knit's everything. They make awesome stitch markers and awesome bags, and I got the stitch marker Advent for Christmas this year, and I got this bag with it, and it is cute Christmas gnomes, and I thought it was adorable, and as you can see right there. So that bag and this self-striping yarn from Fiber Nymph Dye Works came with it. And these are Christmas colors, and I thought this was cute as well. But naturally, I do not knit socks a ton, and I thought that it would be fun to give these away. So this is 80/20 Superwash Merino Nylon. It's 400 yards fingering, and the colorway is called Moody Holly. It is 4 stripes and self-striping. So I am going to give this away along with this bag. I am sorry that they're not before Christmas. I didn't open them until Christmas Day. I kind of wish I would have, so that way I could have sent it, but it's probably better not to send things during Christmas rush anyways. So if you don't mind the fact that it's Christmas yarn and a Christmas bag, please leave a comment down below. So if you do not want the physical prize, just say no yarn or something. And if I draw your name, I will just, you'll automatically get the digital pattern instead. So how it's gonna work, the first name that I draw will get the physical prize, and the second name will get the pattern, unless of course the first name doesn't want the physical prize. But hang on, I gotta show you the inside. That's so cute. isn't it? These bags are great. I showed you a bag from her last week, the cat bag, and I love the cat bag. And like I said, I love this as well, but I have a lot of bags, and I thought that this would make me very happy to give away, so I am going to do so. It is open to worldwide, so it doesn't, the only caveat is make sure that I can send you this, because I don't know, like, restrictions on mail. Just make sure that you can get mail from the US if you enter, because I would hate to not be able to send it to you. Okay, that's the physical prize for next week. Like I said, just leave any comment down below if you're interested for either prize. If you're not interested for the physical prize, just say no yarn, and I will make sure that you get the digital prize instead. Okay, I'm done being awkward and weird and trying to explain myself. I am going to talk about what I am wearing instead, because I know about knitting and I can babble on about that forever. So this is Easter West by Joji Locatelli. Now, take a look at this, because can you see where the yarn bled? Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Mandy, why are you wearing a shirt when the yarn bled? And it's because this cost a lot to make. I will not get rid of this. I will totally wear this until I can't wear it anymore. I got this yarn for, I think this was a birthday cast on. So I bought it for my birthday and I pre-washed it. I especially pre-washed this pink, and it didn't matter because it still bled. So this sweater made me discover Syntherpool. So it was a happy, that was a happy thing. I do love it, and I love the way it fits, and I think one day I will remake it, but I really want to get the use out of the yarn, right? It was very unfortunate that it happened. The pattern is by Joji Locatelli, and as you know, I love Joji's patterns. I had been just wandering through her pattern store, and I ran across this pattern, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love everything about this one. And I actually used the color palette that she used, and I didn't use the yarn, of course, but so I mean, I really do like it. I wish, I don't know anything about like over dyeing, and I wouldn't want to make it worse, which is why I just wear it like this. I don't believe in wasting things, so that's why I'm wearing this like this. Like I said, Joji Locatelli Easter West. This is fingering weight yarn. I knit it with, I believe, merino, 80-20 merino nylon. So the colors were like a light gray, a dark gray, and like this really bright magenta pink. Okay, so what are we going to talk about first? Because since New Year's is coming up, I was going to kind of go through my knitting plans for next year instead of share patterns with you guys this week. I figured that that would be a good idea. But before I do any of that, let's go through what I've been knitting on. And I'm going to start with the one that I've gotten the least amount of progress on. So this is actually the other door knit bag from last week if you guys haven't seen it. I love this bag. I have 2 black cats. So whenever I see something that has black cats in it, I get so happy. So this is the yarn that I'm using. This is fiber optic yarn. This is Tangerine to Ultraviolet. They do unified gradients. So if you're ever looking for a really nice gradient, you should check out their site. They have a bunch of different colors. I've actually visited their store, and it's beautiful in there. And it's like color overload because all of the colors are extremely rich and saturated, and it's just so nice. So I am working on the Musselburgh. Now, I haven't gotten a ton of knitting done on this, but I did get some. My daughter has been wanting me to play video games with her. So in between like video game loading screens and stuff, I'll be knitting the Musselburgh. And I mean, it'll get there when it gets there. I've been kind of thinking about taking it on a car trip over my uncle's next week. And I think that I'll be able to get a bit of progress, but I'm also kind of thinking about casting on and taking something else. So we'll have to see. Okay, so that's my Musselburgh. Now, let me show you my test knit. The test knit is from Andrea Gaughan, and this is how it's supposed to look. And as usual, guys, I'm putting up the information on the screen about who wrote the pattern and giving you some color picture, because this is obviously not helping very much. So, okay, I'm attached to 2 cones and it doesn't make it very portable. Here we go. I am loving knitting this, and I really do like the yarn. The yarn is Holst Tides. Sorry, I'm trying to straighten it out. But here's what I have so far, and I'm just going to be repeating the black and red up the body and until I have to add on stitches for the sleeves steek, because this uses steeking for the sleeves and the neck. But I have blocked some of this down here and it's super soft. But up top, after that second red is not blocked anymore. So that's kind of where I am in the process. I've just been working on it. The rows are kind of long, but the color work is really fun. And as per usual, I've got stitch markers between every repeat because there's no way I want to mess this up. And I can just see if I don't have stitch markers between each repeat, I'm going to get like 1 stitch off and not realize till like 3 rows past it. So I definitely appreciate the stitch markers. Other than that, I'm knitting this on a size 3.75, and I'm doing that because when I gauge swatched, I had to go up that far. I started with a 3, and yeah, I jumped quite a bit trying to make gauge. Luckily, I managed to hit it pretty perfect, pretty spot on with the 3.75, so. Now, I don't remember if I said this, but the Holst Tides is 70% wool and 30% silk. And that makes it pretty soft. One of the commenters from last week mentioned that it was that the Holst Coast, which I believe is wool and cotton, has more colors, and the softness is between super soft and tides. So I haven't tried the Coast yet, but I would really like to. But I have so much yarn to use right now, it'll be a little bit before I kind of go and get some more, especially this cone yarn. It lasts forever. So this is how I got the Holst Tides. And this has a lot of yarn on it. This could make a lot of sweaters. So I believe it's 500 grams of yarn. And I think that maybe once when I want to reuse the Holst Tides, I might hold it double and use it for a DK weight sweater, just because I think that'll use it up a little bit faster. And it'll work just fine. So, but I love the contrast on this. This has been something fun. I really do enjoy test knitting for Andrea Gaughan. She gives you a great amount of time. And for this test knit, she actually had optional checkpoints almost to make sure that you kind of keep on target, but I mean, you don't have to follow them. They're just there to kind of help you. So I appreciate that, because sometimes it's easy to not realize how much you should be doing, or you're doing too much, and you can kind of pull back some and work on something else if you want. Okay, so now if you are not new here, you've seen my journey from the Stripe Buster by Amy Gunderson, and then I ripped that out and I'm like, okay, I don't want to do that anymore. And then I went to the Baseline Cardigan by Susanne Sommer, and I've been loving it. Now, the Baseline Cardigan's pattern is made in DK weight yarn, and I have been knitting it with my Advent from Blackbird Sycamore yarn, which is fingering weight yarn, which is fine. The only problem is I've had to kind of be cognizant of, okay, I'm knitting in a different weight yarn. I've had to take very detailed notes of what I've been doing and how many rows I've been doing, so I can repeat the same on the opposite side. But all in all, it's been going good. Let me show you this way. So this is the back, and I really do like it. This is the sleeve hole. And let me see if I can kind of show you here. Oh, I should have rethought wearing the stripes, huh? So this is a V-neck, and I'm unsure. Man, the stripes on my shirt, the sweater I'm wearing really clash. But you could kind of get the idea. Just pretend my sleeve isn't here. So it's got I worked the V-neck option because the pattern will give you the choice of using round, crew, or V-neck. And I'm a big V-neck fan. So I've changed my increases, and yeah, just the increase amount, and I've changed the amount of rows that I had to work for DK or for fingering weight yarn. Now is concerned the right word? No. I'm undecided on how I want to treat the edges. So I've been thinking I could do a lot of things. One of the things that jump out to me though is maybe I want to do an I-cord edging, an applied I-cord edging, and put a zipper in, because I really like zippered cardigans. But with the V-neck, I'm not sure. So I guess we'll just have to see how it goes. I love the colors, and everything about this makes me happy. So I'm very happy that I ended up taking out the Stripe Buster, because I didn't like it as much as I like this. Now, since I'm kind of reworking the pattern, I am going to make sure that the sleeve is kind of fitted like my East or West here. So, and basically what I'm doing right now is I worked. So you provisionally cast on for the back, and then I basically took out that provisional cast on when I was done with this side, and I picked up the stitches, and then I started working the back part and doing the neck increases at the back. And now I am to the point where the back stitches are on hold, and I am going to be casting on this part right here for the other side of the front, to which I will be working this V-neck right here. So I'll have it on the other side, and then eventually I will be casting on stitches to kind of join my stitches, the back stitches together. So I'll have the other side of the neck. And then I will be working this way until I put stitches for the sleeves on hold. Once those sleeve stitches are on hold, I'll work a couple of more ridges and then 3 needle bind off. So she actually had an option to where you don't have to 3 needle bind off. I mean, you can graft garter stitch in the round, or you can graft garter stitch, but I did not see a reason to, because I mean, can you guys tell that this is grafted together? Is there any visible kind of difference? I mean, I'm sure there is if you look hard enough, but there wasn't going to be enough of a difference for me to warrant doing garter stitch grafting. You can see it on the inside if you look hard enough, but that didn't bother me. So this has been going very fun. Like I said, I'm kind of interested in what I should do for the neck. I might end up doing ribbing. I don't know. I would like to be able to do a zipper. And it's just, I think that I-cord edging and zippers seem to go a little bit better for me. Okay, so that is my knitting for this week. That has been what I've been working on. I've been concentrating on the test knit. I've been pulling out the Musselburgh whenever my daughter wants me to play video games with her. And I've been working on the Baseline Cardigan pretty much in between everything else. So now that that's all done, I'm going to talk just a tiny bit about what I really want to plan to do next year. And I do have a list of a couple of projects I want to start on, but I think I have overarching, more generalized goals. So my first generic kind of goal that I would love to focus on again this year is working on getting better at color work. And I think I did quite a bit last year, and I feel a lot more confident in it. I do feel like, and let me pick on this right here for a second, I do feel like I can get my gauge a little bit more fine-tuned to kind of make it to where it will look a little bit better. And that's really what I'm looking for. My next goal would be to, I don't want to say learn brioche because I've done it before, but I really want to focus on brioche and focus on 2-color brioche because I want to work on the brioche hug. So I have the yarn for this all caked up. I have it all put in a kit, not a kit. I put it in a project bag. It's basically a take and go Mandy created kit that I'm all ready and waiting for. I just need to get to it. So in order to do the brioche hug, I really want to cast on and maybe work 1 or 2 Harlow hats. If you guys aren't familiar with the Harlow hat, it's by Andrea Mowry. I don't have the pattern, but I'll get that. And it's just, I believe, 2-color brioche hat. And I have a bunch of like Malabrigo worsted, and I'm pretty sure it's in worsted weight. If not, I can find other yarn that I have that can do it, but I'm almost positive it's worsted. Either way, those are the 2 projects I'm going to use to focus on the brioche knitting. Now, the 2 projects that I want to do to focus on color work is the Seaglass cardigan. And if you've followed my story kind of working through the Voyage cardigan, you'll know that, and the stripy unicorn, you'll know that I have an all pink advent that that I've used to work on the stripy unicorn, but I feel like I have enough yarn left over to work on a Seaglass cardigan. But I have the Seaglass cardigan pattern, but I also have the Voyage pattern. And what I'm thinking is that I'm going to modify the Voyage pattern and just steek it. Because in the end, I feel like even with the I-cord method or however that Wool and Pine uses on the Seaglass cardigan, I feel like it'll just be easier if I just reinforce those steeks and snip them. I love the way that my Voyage came out, and I feel like that gave me confidence to tackle that. So that is the first project that I want to do to focus on colorwork knitting. Now, I'm not sure what order these projects are going to come in, because the other project I want to focus on for colorwork knitting is my Ysolda sleeve sweater. Now, I've talked about this many times, and either the Seaglass cardigan's coming first right after I'm done with the next one of these, or the Ysolda sleeve sweater is coming next. The Ysolda sleeve sweater is basically me taking a sock pattern called Socks of the Hero, and I'll put up a picture as usual. And I have this sock pattern, but I want to turn those socks that I'm showing you on the screen into sleeves for either a cardigan or a sweater. I haven't decided yet. Probably a sweater. Probably. We'll see. If not a sweater, definitely something with a zipper, because I'll wear the Ysolda sleeve sweater until like I can't wear it anymore because it's literally falling apart. When I was 3, yes, 3-ish, 3, 4, I would play Zelda on the regular Nintendo. So this sweater would have a ton of like sentimental meaning for me. Anyways, with all of that said, my goal for that is to either use like the sock arm sweater pattern or the sock arm cardigan pattern, and they're both by Stephanie Lotvin, and they're both in one of my very favorite books called Knit Happy with Self-Striping Yarn. So that is my plan. I've got a bunch of minis that I can use for the colors on this sleeves, and I recently reached out to Stephanie from Blackbird Sycamore Yarn to get a purple and a green to go on the upper parts of the sleeves. So I'm very excited about that, and I can't wait for either one of those. I think that the Seaglass cardigan might be best to go first because I really want more practice doing color work before I tackle the very, very, very important Ysolda sleeve sweater. And that's not the order that I want to do them in. It isn't, because I really want to I want to cast on the Ysolda sweater right now. But I know in my head is telling me that I should probably calm down and make the Seaglass cardigan first, and then I can go into the other sweater a little bit more confident. Okay, so the other goal that I have for 2025 would be to work through the yarn that I have. And when I say work through the yarn that I have, I am specifically talking about some bulky, super bulky, and worsted weight yarn that I have. I find that yarn is the most difficult to store, and I would really like to work through some Lion Brand Hue and Me that I bought, specifically to make the Friend to Friend. Now, I'm putting up a picture. If you haven't seen the Friend to Friend, you should check it out. It is basically what I am going to call a shoulder warmer. And the pattern is by Leslie Friend. She has a great podcast if you haven't checked it out. And I will link it down below. But I love this pattern and I think it's so cute. And when I saw it on her podcast, I was like, I need to make this. And I want to make some as gifts for friends and gifts for family. So I bought some Lion Brand Hue and Me, and now all I need to do is sit down and make it. So whenever you heard me talk about the bringing my Musselburgh to my uncle's house, I said that I'm not sure if I want to do that because I also want to cast on my first friend to friend. And I'm thinking I might cast on the friend to friend because I can bring a Musselburgh anywhere and it's always good knitting. But I think that the friend to friend will also travel well, and I really want to get started on them. I think that even my daughter, she is turning 10. I feel like if I wear this, she's going to want one too. So that is coming soon. We will have to figure out how to get her into a bright pink or a ballet pink one as well. But other than that, I mean, like I said, I want to focus on color work. I want to focus on brioche, using my heavier weight yarn stash. And then the only other thing that I can think of, and this is more generic on me, is that I want to find a finishing class to take. I want to perfect finishing garments, weaving in ends, doing mattress stitch, or just things like that. I feel like in order to kind of bring my knitted items up to a higher level, I need to learn better and learn how to tackle finishing in better ways. So if you guys know of any books or any classes or any YouTube videos, I would very much appreciate it if you left a comment down below. Other than that, I mean, that's all that I have for 2025. I'm hoping to, like I said, I'm hoping to get those 2 sweaters done at the very least, and then the brioche hug, and we'll just go from there. I thank you guys so much for coming to join me this week. Thank you guys for the prayers for all of the pain that I've been having. It's gotten better, but it's still there. It's still more than, I mean, nobody ever wants pain, right? So it's still more than it has been, but I appreciate all of your comments and well wishes. Other than that, I'm done. So if you guys are interested in winning this bag with the self-striping yarn, please leave a comment down below. Or if you're just interested in winning the digital pattern, leave a comment down below and say no yarn. Otherwise, you're entered to win both. Okay, I will see you guys next week. I hope that you all have a very safe and happy new year, and you get to spend time with your family if that's what you want, or alone if that's what you want. And I hope that you guys get some knitting time in. Thank you so much. Bye.